Hi, this is Amy Lewis. This is Engineers Unplugged. Hi, this is Amy Lewis, and we're back with another episode of Engineers Unplugged. I'm here with Bhumik and Roger, and we're going to be talking about closing the management gap. So, Roger, take it away.
Thanks, Amy. One of the challenges that we have in management is that virtualized management of virtual infrastructure and management of physical infrastructure are typically two different things. So we're working together with VMware to try to close that management gap. And what we've done is created a number of integrations across a number of different products between UCS, Cisco UCS, and VMware portfolio to try to narrow that gap. Some of the things that we've done is around auto deploy, and some integration with something that we call vMFX, which is Virtual Machine Fabric Extender. If you're familiar with Cisco's Unified Fabric, then that term hopefully means something to you. We've also done some integrations with VMware's vCenter Orchestrator, and we've created a vCenter plugin for UCS, as well as some content packs for Log Insight. Bhumik?
Thanks, Roger. So as we were talking earlier, I like the analogy of UCS is to physical, that VMware vSphere is to virtual, right? And the reason being, and one of the key reasons being the UCS manager, right? So a lot of the integrations that we are talking about here is possible because of the open APIs, XML-based APIs that are provided by the UCS manager. And because the UCS manager is that integral, single point of management for your entire infrastructure, all we need to do is plug into that XML API, and now we are providing our virtual administrators a lot more visibility into the infrastructure, right? So it makes the UCS infrastructure more virtualization aware, which has always been, and ties into these use cases that we talked about. So what we want to do today is talk about a couple of different use case flows. So we'll look at the user side and then the admin side, right? So I'm going to ask you to cover some of the user-based, user side applications. So if you are an end user, if you're deploying this joint solution, and we'll walk through each of these integrations, let's talk about some use cases for the end user.
Sure, absolutely. One example user case is a user might want to request some more services, whether it's a cloud or whether he just wants to order more service from a virtual infrastructure. So a user will need to interact with his business applications in order to request that. These applications might then interact with orchestration in order to provision more infrastructure. Now, this orchestration capability, because we've integrated it with UCS, has the ability to reach out and communicate with vSphere, as well as communicate with UCS in order to sort of orchestrate the way that those two tools to work together. So it will take a new server from UCS, provision a hypervisor on it using auto deploy, and then deliver that new service to the business app in order to expand the capacity within the virtual infrastructure and then deliver that to the end user.
So basically you're talking about a VCO plugin for UCS, so that talks to the UCS manager APIs that I was talking about. And a lot of actions you can do there. One simple example would be to create service profile templates, for example, right? And move those around from one host to another. So if you're moving a host from one data store to another, then you can follow the service profile properties along with it, right? Great. The other use case I want to talk about is around vMFX, right? So this is possible because of the Cisco WIC. If you're familiar with the converged network adapter, you can create multiple virtual, up to 256 virtual NICs on them and VHBAs. But the unique thing about vMFX is it allows you to bypass, in one of the use cases, it allows you to bypass the hypervisor. So you go into direct path mode, providing more I/O characteristics and performance for your for your network, if you want a highly network utilized application running on top of it, right? So those are the integrations that allow you to leverage more efficiencies from your joint solutions, right? The other piece I want to talk about is the vCenter plugin, right? So again, all these plugins are tying into the XML APIs. So this will talk here to the UCL. I'm going to butcher this drawing. These are all XML APIs. So in this case, this plugin is for the web, web vCenter 5.1 or higher, and it's supported and it's available for you to download. All of these plugins are. One of the key things here is from a vCenter GUI, you have now visibility into the UCS manager, as you were talking about earlier, right? So if I'm a VMware admin, I can click onto the UCS tab on there, and boom, I have this visibility. One of the cool use cases we talked about earlier was to be able to say launch KVM from there, right? And there could be a number of others that we can talk about. So maybe if you want to address some of that or cover some of the other use cases around log insight.
Sure, yeah, happy to cover some of that. So, in the spirit of bridging the management gap, one of the nice things that VMFX also offers is the ability to provide a Nexus-style switch to the network administrator, but it resides within the virtual machine, right? So we're providing a seamless way for them to manage both physical and virtual networking. Now, also in the vCenter plugin, this exposes all of the capability of the XML API to the administrator, so that the administrator can administrate both the physical and the virtual infrastructure from a single management interface that they're comfortable with, and that's likely going to be vSphere. So that vSphere interface provides them that comprehensive access and control of all of the virtual pieces that vSphere does today, but it also adds the flexibility of control of UCS Manager directly within the vSphere interface.
Yep, sounds good. So one of the last but not the least use cases here is aggregation around log insight. So when we look at data and logging and analytics with VMware, so we're looking at two different types of analytics, right? All the structured data goes to the VC Ops product line, and then all the unstructured and real time is ciphered through the log insight. So what we have here is a syslog aggregation from UCS Manager into the log insight product, right? So again, if you are at the log insight GUI, you can get all the troubleshooting alerts directly from the UCS Manager. So you'll get all the events that are being triggered at this layer, be it being FX, fault tolerance, FI layer events. You'll get them and have the visibility into the log insight. So I think across the board, pretty powerful integrations, allowing both the user side to provision new apps and getting automation integrations, and also on the admin side to ease the management. I think, and we're going to continue to expand on this, right? So sounds good.
Okay, so that was a great talk, and since we're talking about closing the management gap, and we're a little space constrained here, we're going to close the white space gap with a unicorn. So it's unicorn time. Let's see your very best unicorn. Go, go. I like it. Sometimes it's better to go miniature. Very impressive. I like it. Definitely rose to the challenge there. So great job, Bhumik. Great job, Roger. Hopefully, I know they've got a slide based on this. I'm hoping they'll share it with me, and we'll include it in the blog so that you can see what they've done here in a little more detail. So really great information, and we'll see you next time on Engineers Unplugged.